wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith. If you're watching this right now, it isn't live, but don't worry, I'll be there live and direct. But I did what I said I was gonna do. I was gonna be prepared just in case. I just wanted to give you guys an episode. Anyway, I'm gonna keep these glasses on, but I digress. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time. Before I even start, see if you guys will be able to know, like, around when this was happening, but it is FIFA time up in Toronto. I managed to not have an experience of the FIFA, like being in deep with the people's them, but throughout the weeks, or the weeks, Canada's been doing amazing. Ghana. Let me see how South Korea's been doing, because I have to represent for South Korea. Well, right now South Korea is set in second place, so you know what? I'll take it. I will take it. Canada is in first place with Canada's in first place, but who else? Scotland. Oh, I need Brazil to come back up, Canada. States is, of course, Americanos are number one in their section. Germany, Ivory Coast, oh, they're like tied neck and neck, so I didn't see what happens later. Sweden, New Zealand, Uruguay, Norway. Oh, Norway and France. Ooh, France. Hello. First of all, I didn't realize how good looking these brothers are. The other non-brothers. My gosh. So thank you. Argentina. Who else? Colombia. And England and Ghana are tied. So hopefully, things are gonna be in a better position in times to come. But like, I am really excited, like how much energy Toronto at least is having. And so like, I wanted to give you guys an episode because I probably am not able to record at the time, so I decided to do a pre-recording, and I just wanted to have like a different type of aspect when it comes to personal finance, because I think when it comes to some people, when they think about financial mistakes, like, see it as failures. And I've always wanted to tell you guys, like, or ladies and gentlemen, sorry, that financial mistakes aren't always failures. Some of them can be actually a lesson, right? So, like, let's think about like some financial wins that started as a loss. Let's think of this. There's some like what if you had like a failed investment, but then it blew up? Like, I've seen portfolios where couple months, weeks, months, it was struggling. But then boom, it actually became a positive portfolio. Trust me, it took grace, it took patience, it took believing in what what was there. Sometimes there was overspending, right? There's some folks that were overspending and didn't learn until like you're like, all right, I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. And then, sometimes we have bad decisions that turn out to be not that bad after all. Or I would say the number one thing I think some people consider it as a failure or a loss is a missed opportunity. And that could be anything, right? Trust me. That could be anything. Cheese and peas. That could be in your personal life, your love life, your career, your spiritual life, all that good stuff. Missed opportunity. But as folks would say, there's something better on the other side of the door. So you can see it that way, right? So like ideally, the things that you can't like, yes, in theory, you can learn about these things, you can hear about these stuff and see how you can maneuver. But when you think about it as a human nature, it's okay. And I want to say that again, like I'm going to be talking about scenarios that I've probably experienced because, I am human, that you're like, oh, wow. I never thought about that. Or like, oh, wow, that was something that I went through and we can overcome it. Right. And I think I found an article that's able to give you some other tips and tricks afterwards. So, sit back, relax. But before I even do anything, let's do a little commercial break. I'm going to try my best to do commercial breaks, especially because I want to be consistent with giving you guys something.
You're watching Things I Wish I Knew About Money with Kamille Smith. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom, bam, bam. See, that was short and sweet. First segment I want to talk about is expensive lessons. Are still lessons, essentially. Because there's going to be like, there's two type of lessons you can get, right? Lessons with time and lessons with money. If you haven't experienced a lesson that takes up your time or took up your money, energy, or whatever, if you want to say energy as well, then you haven't really lived. You haven't really lived. You haven't actually taken a risk, right? And I can honestly say that, trust me, I've taken risks. Right? Sometimes people actually avoid these things. They actually like try to avoid these things so they actually avoid growth. And I think if you ignore risk, you ignore growth. And that saying is you shouldn't be the same person that you were 5 years ago. If you were eek, right? So ideally, when you think about lessons, yes, we have those people that are book smart and they're able to learn things like through books, podcasts, TikTok, advice from friends. I would say family and friends, especially the ones where you learn it based on not even experiencing it, but seeing it from afar. When you see those lessons from afar, those are the best lessons I find, right? But here's like examples of expensive lessons. Credit card. First credit card mistake. Where were you when you got your first credit card? Was it in college? Was it in university? Yeah, I wouldn't say anyone in high school and stuff, but my first credit card was in university, orientation week. And I really want to say I did well, but I was persuade. I can't say persuade. But I want to say my mom was like, "Listen, you don't use it unless you really, really need it." And that was like something I always thought. I was like, okay, understand that. Like, unless I really, really need it. And if you used to go like downtown Toronto, going to eat, listen, actually, let me backstory. So, high school, having lunch, having a toonie for lunch or $5 for lunch. Oh, it was a breeze. It was so easy because you're in the suburbs, things were cheaper and stuff. Bringing $2 or $5 to downtown Toronto back in 2005 and stuff, ain't no way that you were gonna survive with $2 or $5. Even with happy hour, I don't even think they had happy hour unless you just wanted to mess with the hot dogs and stuff. So at a certain point, I realized that being downtown Toronto was going to be way more expensive than it was in high school. So like I had to manage my money wisely, which I did most of the time. It was just shit happened. So then I used a credit card. I ran it up. It wasn't a lot. I think they gave me $1,500. And at first I was like, oh, how? Ran it up. Stupid mistakes, but I had a better understanding of what not to do. So those are the type of lessons. Sometimes you have to stumble to be able to know what not to do, right? Granted, should I have done that way? Absolutely not. But I learned a little bit, or another example, I don't think this is me unless you want to talk about like when it comes to my stomach, the first impulsive purchase. I'm gonna ask you the question again. What was your first impulse purchase that you did? And that means like you didn't like think about it. You just said, I'm gonna get it. I don't care. I'm getting it no matter what. Right? So you have to think about that as well. And things. You have to think about that as well, or just be able to I can't think of a first impulse purchase other than food. And it was like something like, yo, I wanted this food, I don't care, I'm getting it. Oh my gosh, I was talking to someone about the restaurant downtown near Ryerson or TMU, however you want to say it. Salad King. I thought I wasn't gonna remember. There's some days where I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just gonna get Salad King and call it a day. And that was my impulsive purchase. Boom, bam, bam. Right? Or I think a lot of people suffer with this lesson, and have they accepted it or realized it fully? I don't think so. Because you just play some tricks in your mind, and that's the buying something you don't need. The amount of times you hear someone say, oh, I needed that, no, you wanted it, and that's okay. Just don't confuse need versus wants when it comes to certain things. Then you'd be able to be more mindful about that, right? And missing a bill, Lord Jesus, missing a bill. Has it been you? Have you missed a bill? It's okay. Don't feel shame. It happens to the best of us. The only thing I would say is, instead of having that surprise expectation, calendar, right? At the end of the day, none of these actually feel good. They don't. When you have that, when you come to realize like, damn, this expensive lesson it didn't have to happen. But I learned from it, so let me just do better, and just have a scenario that I'll be able to do better. And then I want to ask you the question, what lesson have you actually learned because you made a mistake first? Actually, let me before I move on, I want you guys to really, really think about this. And And like I said, I've mentioned my mistakes. What's a lesson you've only learned because you made a mistake first? Oh man, good old. I think the recent, and when I say recent, like the last 5 years, the recent mistake that I learned was not sticking to my plan when it comes to option trading or future trading. And guys, I'm itching, want it bad. But I also have to remember that I'm still in that greed. I can't say greed. I can't say, because I've been on the sideline for so long. I don't think I'm in the greed motion or gambling motion and all that stuff. So I don't consider myself in that space, but I definitely know how to, if I'm anxious, I know that I need to relax, right? So that's one thing um that I could think about, right? So just remember that, like, those expensive lessons that you make, try to minimize them as much as possible, right? Try to minimize them. And then we have this is like something that was discussing, bad investments at times build better investors. And I will say this: if you don't know shit about the stock market, I do not want you to start as a frigging trader. Do not start as a day trader. I'm talking to you. Don't do it. Become an investor first. Solidify that safety net, that consistency, those ETFs, the valuable stocks, and all that stuff before you go down the road of, let me do some option trading, or let me do some futures. You don't even know what an ETF means, and you want to start with day trading. You don't even know how to read the chart, and you want to start with day trading? Absolutely not. No. I refuse. I, for one, am going to try to show you guys that as much as losing money teaches discipline than making money, sometimes some people won't learn from their mistakes. And I've done it. And that's why I said I had to stay on the sidelines, because I was like, all right, Cam, you're doing the same mistake again and again. You need to relax. You need to go back to the basics. You need to start to chart. You need to understand that. You need to do your support. You need to do your resistance on the downtrend, uptrend, and all that good stuff. Actually, I was talking to someone about it the other day, and I just started getting excited. I was like, ooh, I'm ready to do it again, but I have to control this part. See how I'm like, I had to control that part, that emotional side of me, before I can do that. But at the same time, there are some investments that are trash that you realize afterwards. Like I've actually mentioned this story many times. Like, I bought 2 stocks at the same time. One was a weed stock and one was AMD. And you see, AMD looks sweet up. But I bought them at the same time. One was FOMO, one was more of a research. You can always tell which one's which. One went down, same price I got it. One went down, one went up, skyrocket, right? So after the bad investment that I did, I understood that I had to strategize my portfolio a little bit better. Also, big up to my mentor. He, gave me a little nugget, some gems and things at the same time. So it's not just all of me. And I think when it comes to investing, unless you are a fast learner and you have the right discipline, then cool. Man, I wish I had the discipline my mentor has. Cause golly Bob, y'all, if you only knew. Oh, I will never forget November. When I say never forget, I like it was either November 25th or 26th. And man, it moshed me up. Actually, let me go to the calendar just to remember, cause yeah, wow, look at that. Wow, that day, I tell you. I almost want to say I dislike that day, low key. But I digress. You learn your lessons. It was a bad decision, I would say, that I did, right? So I want you guys to think about at this point. Like, losing money does teach you certain things. Example, when I bought a stock and I didn't do the proper research, I just went on FOMO. And I find that most folks that do FOMO gets burnt in the long run, right? It's not until you learn that, like everyone that did AMC or what was that other one? GameStop and stuff. Yeah, sure. There's people that, made a good amount, but they didn't do their proper research. So I want to say the carpet was pulled off of some people because they were just FOMO and believed the hype and didn't have proper research on why they're buying it, right? So that causes mayhem. My crypto folks, don't come for me. Don't come for me, because there's some crypto hype also is something that happens. I won't say I will say this. I don't think it's wrong having a little bit of crypto. Especially if you've done your research. I think the same concept with stocks. Do your research. If you don't know shit about crypto or Forex, nah, it's not for you. It's not for you. And just wait it out before you decide to. No. I don't mean wait it out. Do your research. It's your due diligence to do your research to make sure that you're choosing the right thing. I think was it Dogecoin or all that bullshit other things, and people were just making bad decisions. Stop that. It's now the time to not make bad decisions. It's especially with this economy, golly, right? And making investments, just because of fear of missing out. That I'm telling you, you will get bun. Your stocks will give you bun. Your crypto will give you bun. Your Forex will give you a bun. Trading will give you bun if you don't do the proper research, right? Yes, you want to have that lesson where it's like, remember the time, energy, or money lesson. Which lesson do you prefer? The money lesson hurts a little bit more. And yes, yeah, the money gone. But did I learn a lesson? Absolutely. That's why I had to say, whoop, let me chill, right? So I just want you guys to just think about it. Like, has there been a time where you invested based on just excitement, or did you actually do your research and had a better understanding about it, right? And before I get into segment 3, let me do a little commercial break because I am here to help. And even though tax season's done, you never know what mistakes have been happening.
Don't let the CRA take more than they should. Here are 5 tax mistakes you can't afford to make. Don't fall into these common traps that could cost you big. Many forget to claim deductions like home office expenses or medical costs. Late filing means penalties. Mark your calendar and file early. Side hustle money still counts. Report it to avoid trouble later. Ensure you're eligible for the credits you claim. Keep all tax records for at least 6 years. Digital organization makes life easier. Avoid these mistakes and file with confidence. Need help? Email FitnanceIQ services for our questionnaire today.
Ooh, watch timing. Boop, 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 boop. I'm so fascinated with the timing. All right. Oops. Sorry, guys. We're going to take rid of this part. Next one is overspending can reveal. I promise I can read. Can reveal what matters. Have you ever looked? Put it this way. Have you ever looked at your bank statements? You know, the saying is, you know, when you're doing your budget, you want to look at the last 3 months of your spending. There's some things that you overspend on, right? And that's just having a better understanding about your personality and having a better understanding of what needs some TLC or what to like simmer down upon. I'm not telling you to completely get rid of it, but simmer down just a little bit, right? So like but think of it this way. Not every spending is a complete waste, right? It isn't. But you will have a better understanding of yourself. But as in, it will teach you what your priorities are. I'll tell you this straight up. My stomach does big things. You know? My stomach will put me in yeah, I need this food. Give me this food. Or unless other people would say, they say I'm like a rabbit. I barely eat, but depends on the time. Depends on the day, depends on the time, right? Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot me, please. Don't. But like examples, like as I said, food catches me. And the worst thing is, and I think I'm going to be able to offset this foolishness that I'm having. I just have to see the cost, and I think the best idea is meal prepping for me, because there's times when literally non-stop working. I kid you not. Like if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, maybe depending on when this comes out, I was talking about like I was like literally grinding and barely slept. So when was there time to actually cook, right? So think about that. There's Uber Eats, cooking, Uber Eats versus cooking or versus meal prep. There's expensive gym membership versus affordable gym membership, those type of things, right? Like, do you really need to go to that gym? Or can you just go to any gym to get that proper workout? You know? Depends on who you are. That different course, whether it's a course that is going to help you with your skills or if it's a course that you're bored. You know? Not bored, sorry. That was the wrong word. Not bored, but you wanted to upgrade your skills, whether it was personal or professional development. That's what I meant. I'm bored. The vacation. And I wonder if I could I'm not gonna call myself out, but keep these comments coming. And make let me take a pause. Make sure you like, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. And I should have a poll question up. There's might be times when I didn't do a poll, and that was because of just the type of what access I had for the access I had to actually do the poll. I should have just done it. Just did it. I should have just done it within here. But will it work? Actually, let's give it a swirl. I feel like it won't work, so I'm not going to do it. Ooh, I wonder if I should do it. but we're like 30 minutes in. Fudge it. I'm not doing it. I just know that I'm going to do the poll with you guys. I promise. So vacation. Sorry. Did you overspend on vacation? Did you decide to spend $10,000? I'm just throwing out 10,000 because that seems really high, and that's just you by yourself. Did you spend 10,000? Have you spent $10,000 on a vacation? I mean, if you got the money, if you have that's your lifestyle, spend that cash. Sorry, I shouldn't have sang that song. Now it's in my head and I can't get it out of my head, but I will not sing it again, I promise. Or did you find a more affordable vacation where it was like 1,500, 2,000? 2,000 for 7 days? Let's see if that's... Oh, for 7 days. 285 a day. It depends. It depends how you feel about that. I mean, 1,500 is no better. It's 214.28. Yeah, so it's like 285, but that just makes sense. Or do you have hobbies that are really expensive? Alcohol, or other things that you have. So like these type of things that you realize is you'll discover whether the expensive or I shouldn't say expensive, sorry. The overspending that you do changed your life for the better or for the worse, right? So you're gonna be like, damn, this really changed the way my life is. I think I love this feeling. Or you're gonna be like, shit, I didn't really need this. I really didn't need this. So you really want to have like an internal discussion with yourself, because it could be useful. An internal discussion like, is this purchase how is the feeling when I do this purchase happening during and after? Nothing. And I'll say that this is why I was talking about like the meal prep and stuff. Like I know if I get a meal prep set up, I think I'll be better off and I will be able to have more protein. As my friends would say, I don't have enough protein. But I also will have I will be able to justify why I'm doing it, because it's going to be way cheaper than Uber Eats, and then it will help me. Durr. And then it will help me with the, what's that word? What's that saying? Opportunity cost, yes. The instead of taking away that time that I can be doing something else that I want to do, like work, because I'm a workaholic. I rather, finish a project than cook and stuff. Don't come for me. Do not come for me because I said that sentence. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know someone's going to come for me. Do not come for me because I said that sentence. But because some projects take time and energy, I'm too exhausted to cook. Don't come for me. Golly. Right? So just double check that, or just what do you truly value? Like, hey, I'm okay with having that expensive membership because now I can do networking. I'm doing networking. They're open 24 hours, even though most of them are open 24 hours, but I digress. And maybe some of the places are kind of dodgy, and the amenities is better. Ooh, you know what? I kudos to the folks that live in a condo and the amenities is there, and your workout place is right there. I'm jelly. So whoever has a condo and they want me to, I'm joking. These are all jokes. Relax. Ooh, this one. This depends on, I want to say this depends on your stage in life. Stage in life and age, a little bit, kind of, sort of, maybe. You know what? I gotta ask the people that have like, a second career change. Actually, I know someone. Might have to talk to them soon. Right? Career decisions that cost money but created growth. Um, Kudos to the folks that was able to pivot into a different career. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I think this will be, especially if it's like, you see how the economy is going, you see how technology is going, and you're able to pivot in a certain way, right? Kudos to you. Bloop, 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 bloop. You're the real MVP, right? So certain things like that, or just sick and tired of where you're at, and you're like, yo, I'll do anything just to get out of this situation so I'm able to get into a better position, right? So like, think of it this way. Not all decisions that you make with a career change is going to happen. It's going to be an amazing deal. But I do know folks that, every time they leave a job to get a next job, boom, they're getting more money. They're having less stress. So for those folks, kudos to you. But there's some people that they're leaving a stable job so they can live, fulfill their their dream goal, legacy, expectations of something else, right? Or starting a business, strap boot that business from the very beginning, also, or while you're having like your 9 to 5, you're taking certification, right? So you can up, or what's the other one? Continuing education, designations, and all that good stuff. So you're able to boost up on your professional development. Returning back to school. Golly Bob. Sheesh. Sometimes it's like, ooh, golly, I had to start all the way back. Or just turning down a higher pay for a better quality of life. I see that. I can see why that makes sense. Less stress is a better quality of life, or a higher paying job gives you less time with your friends and your loved ones and things. I don't know why I always say friends and family. I don't want to say friends first, but because I love my family, I do. But yeah, your loved ones. Choosing to, and I think, speaking of loved ones, choosing a different career that creates growth not only helps yourself, but it also helps your loved ones, because at the end of the day, you're doing this for yourself, but also to have a better life for you and your family, right? So I want to think of it that way. And even though like the cost is enough right now, right? The opportunities that you'll have in the future will be wild. Like I literally want to give big ups to my homegirls and stuff that have actually done this, and I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Sheesh. Right? So it's well worth it, right? Another question I have. Second question. I'll see if I can answer this too. Have you ever made a decision that looked financially wrong at the time, but turned out to be right just for your life? Mm-hmm. 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 Or still in that journey. Because I feel the breakthrough's coming. I just know it. Ooh, and I'm so excited for like the future, y'all. Like, hopefully by the time this comes out, my goal has been completed because I almost lost my momentum on something, and that was just because of stress and all that good stuff. But I'm hoping and I'm thankful for the guidance so I could push through, and just that friendly reminder, hey, there's something that you're trying to complete, right, so execution, right. So I'll say overall, even though it looks like a financial mistake or a financial bad decision, overall it wasn't, because in the present it feels like, oof, your chest is tight, but at the end of the road or in the long run, it's weight lifted off your shoulders and stuff, right? So I'm really happy about that. Trying to see if there's one last one. Okay, there's one last one. I'll try to go through this quick because I think I want my goal to be 45 minutes per se. Oh my god. The real goal isn't perfection. As I just said, see how the universe just segues. The real goal isn't perfection. It's about execution. I don't give a damn. It's about execution. And this could go with anything. How many times have you actually waited on something and you waited, you just wanted to know that everything was gonna be a-okay before you actually made the move? No one builds wealth properly. Okay, I don't care whoever says it. No one builds wealth properly, perfectively. There's always going to be obstacles, there's always going to be bumps in the road, but like we need to I need you guys to understand this, right? I won't say everyone. I'll say most people have regrets, missed opportunities, bad purchases, financial setbacks. And you want to know what the difference is? I'm sorry, financial success isn't about never making mistakes. It's about making fewer expensive mistakes over time and learning from the ones you do make. Because listen, every shot you make, what is it? What's the saying? What's the saying? Hold on, let me see. Every shot you take, every shot you don't take is a miss. Hold on. I don't care who says. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. But like, stop waiting. Right? I did say, you know what? I lied. It's not gonna be 45 minutes because I said I have an article, right? My bad. Execute. If you have a plan, write it down. Execute. Maybe you have 10. I asked the other day, how many tasks or financial tasks do you have in your head rent free? Some people said 10. Some people said 5 for business, 5 for personal. Some people said 4 or 5. Write those things down instead of having it in your head. And I'm talking to you too, because you know who you are. Stop thinking that whatever's in your head is actually going to get done unless you write it down and actually just get it done. And I'm not saying get them all done that same time. I'm saying baby steps, get it done. Right? And just remember, like, if it's not perfect, it's okay. We can tweak. Look how many times some books have been revised and stuff. Like if you want to be an author, do it. Maybe your first book will be shit. Who cares? At least you did it. Now you're an author, right? Or having a business. Maybe your first business wasn't the one that you should have had, but then after you learn the skills, you got a better business and stuff, right? Or I'm not gonna go down that route. I'm only talking about business and stuff, right? Just like it's okay. It's not gonna be perfect. It's okay, right? So just think of it that way. Like we do make mistakes, but try to figure out what lessons you've learned from your failures or mistakes, and then keep it moving. Do better next time, right? Do better. I'm going to try to do this quick fast with this article. I think I want to do the other one. Yeah, I don't like this one. There's another one that I have. So it's like how to learn from your money mistakes, right? Eek. Let me put this over here so I can actually see it. How to learn from your money mistakes. Here's a couple. Okay, I'll share it real quick. If I share it, will it say the date? No, I don't think it will say the date. Hopefully not. I'm like looking around before I show it because I don't want it to show you guys. So the first one, I'll be real quick. Investing with your gut and without a plan. We had that discussion, right? Investing mistakes were the most common regrets you shared. One person wrote to say that they regretted buying stocks because of FOMO. Another shared that they sold stocks feeling the market was too hot. Missed future bullish months, while another said selling stocks during COVID. Whoo, should have stuck with them. Yeah, baby. Yeah, anyway. But, I think the one thing I would say with these mistakes, stop looking at that short period of time and panicking and stretch it out long. Zoom out longer so you'd be able to have an understanding of the stock, the ETF, whichever that you have. So like the S&P 500, maybe it went down like what the other day before SpaceX IPO'd, it went down 2%. I saw the other day go up 1%, 1.3%, right? It's okay. Stop looking at these small horizons and zoom out to a bigger horizon so you have a better understanding, right? What else? And we're human. You're gonna make mistakes. Just don't make a lot of expensive mistakes with your money. Trust me. There's gonna be a period where it looks like shit's hitting, like shitting, right? But eventually it will go up, especially if you have the S&P 500 and some other good heavy hitters like shit. Imagine if you had AMD the same time I had it. Boom. Oh, I almost crit. I had to catch myself, right? Another one is lending money to a friend or family member who didn't pay it back. I'll tell you this. It's very hard for me to ask to lend money. If I have to ask for money, and that has been a very, very long time. If I have to ask for money, I am really like in a scenario where I'm like, baby, help me, please. I think my pride, and this is not me dogging anyone else. This is me personally that it's very hard for me to borrow money. Lending money, oh, that's very hard for me to do as well. I've been burnt a little bit burnt, and told myself until I'm in a better position to lend out money and it won't make me upset, I'm not doing it. Yes, it sounds rough. Yes, it sounds mean. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, sorry, haha. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And the amount of times that I've had to say, "Oops, shame on me for thinking that this boundary wasn't going to be thinking that this boundary was going to be respected." So, till further notice, the bank of Cam is closed, as far as I know, and I'm waiting too long to start investing. I think that, ooh, I'm not gonna talk about that one. I think this is these three because I want to wrap up soon. I'm waiting too long to start investing. Anyone that one user on social platform, Twitter, I don't care, I still call it Twitter, told us they waited until age 24 to start investing. Jeez, losing out on over a decade worth of potential gains. This has happened to me. 2008, I knew about stocks. I didn't think about it. I wanted to do other things and all that good stuff. 2018, I spoke to a friend. I said, "Hey, have you been investing?" I was like, "Nah, I just been doing this, doing that." Imagine the 10 years when he told me how much money he made within 10 years, at least, right? I was like, okay, Cam, we can't be this foolish anymore. Actually, let me see. How old was I at that time? I know I should know the math, but so imagine this. Imagine 22. I had a better understanding. 22. I had a decent understanding about the stock market. I decided, my head self decided not to do investing, even though I knew it was the perfect time because that's when the crash happened, right? Granted, was I able to do stocks like that at the time? Not really, but there was a moment, in 2013. I had that was the best opportunity. And I was in Korea and I was making it. I was not making it rain. Sorry. I was not making it rain on anyone. I promise. I promise. I wasn't. I had to choose a better word that's in my head. I was not splurging. Oh, thank gosh. I was not splurging. Like I made it seem. I wasn't. But I could have done better. So like imagine when I turned 32, 32-ish. That's when I decided to do investing. But I would have been in a better position if I started in 22. So like, the folks that are 22 listening to this, or 25 or 30, just start. Especially my folks that are in their 40s. Fucking start, bruv. And I have to cuss because it will take us longer with the compound interest to see that growth. I just want you guys to start and stop killing yourself with active income. I want you guys to start thinking about passive income. Okay? That's my stance. Right? And that's the story that I'm sticking with, right? So I really want you guys to, consider that. It's been about an hour. Such is life. I thought it was gonna be shorter, but I love chat, and you guys know I love chat. So make sure, before I finish off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I actually love. I I will say this, I really love doing webinars or workshops because that gives me the energy that I need. I need that positive affirmation at times. So, I'm just gonna put it out there. If anyone is looking for anyone to do speaking gigs, Medea, right? And think about it, like the biggest thing when it comes to like wishing you knew what you knew before about money, see what I did there? Is not that you're not always gonna fail. Like some of these lessons are just lessons. Sorry, some of these mistakes are just lessons. And in the long run, it will help you grow. Some risks that you took, I want you to learn from the risks that you took and learn quicker than you had before. Just so you're able to remember that, your goals aren't going to be perfect. Your goals are just progressing each time that we do, and each step that we take to be a better person, a better version of yourself. You have what it takes, and I can help you with that. I can help you with that with scheduling a meeting and all that good stuff. Just learning from your mistakes, whether you're learning from your mistakes personally or from others. Learn it quicker. Learn it quick. Taras Kalat. But yeah, honestly, we will see if we're gonna be live next week, and if not, maybe you'll see another episode. Stay tuned. But yeah, stay hydrated, stay safe, tell your folks that you love them, and keep being blessed. All right, peace and love.
I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free.